In today's video, I'm going to teach you how to calculate ligand binding parameters in Excel. We'll be using a simple charting workflow in Excel to visualize sample ligand binding data and add a trend line, which can help you begin interpreting the relationship between concentration and response. This is a great starting point if you want a clear visual representation of your data before moving on to deeper analysis. First, open Excel and start with a blank worksheet. Once you're there, enter your sample data into the sheet. Make sure your values are organized clearly in two columns so Excel can interpret them correctly. Typically, one column represents the independent variable, such as ligand concentration, and the other represents the measured binding response. Keeping the data clean and aligned is important because the chart will be built directly from these cells. After entering the data, select the range from A1 through B6. This tells Excel exactly which values you want to include in the graph. Be careful to include all the relevant cells in that range, since even a small selection mistake can leave out part of your dataset or create an inaccurate chart. With the data selected, go to the Insert tab at the top of Excel. This is where you'll find the chart tools. From there, click Scatter. A scatter plot is especially useful for ligand binding data because it shows the relationship between two numerical variables without forcing the data into categories. Next, choose Scatter with smooth lines. This chart style connects the points in a way that makes the overall pattern easier to see. For binding data, that can be helpful when you're trying to observe whether the response appears to level off or follow a curve consistent with saturation. Once the chart appears, click directly on it so Excel knows you want to edit the chart itself. Then, click the plus sign next to the chart. This opens the Chart Elements menu, where you can quickly add useful features. In that menu, check Trend Line. Adding a trend line gives you a fitted visual guide over the plotted data, making it easier to evaluate the overall trend. While this does not replace a full biochemical modeling workflow, it's a very practical way to start examining ligand binding behavior in Excel and communicate your data more clearly. As a final tip, make sure your chart is readable. If needed, you can later adjust labels, axis titles, or formatting so the graph is easier to present and interpret. Even a simple chart becomes much more useful when it is clean and well organized. If this tutorial helped you, please consider subscribing. We post new software tutorials every day to help you get the most out of your favorite tools. Thanks for watching.